You're like, hey, we're a big.
I went back in time and I got my hair. Steelers Nation Australia headband. We'll get you some like high socks. Get you some like these shorts.
Hey,
you're
standing up. Hey, easy.
Yeah.
It's like balls of fairy.
So when JJ52 says, will Rhaegar make the 53? No, she's cut. All right, let's go.
If you're not going to take Ray, guys, I know a place in Western Pennsylvania where she'll fit right in. Right at the cookie table at a wedding.
She could be my second string long snap.
PhD, call her Dr. Boogie or Dr. Get Down and tell her that she has a PhD. Get down. Like, play the music,
You know what? If she'd had some bling, and looked like LL Cool J and Mama, they're gonna knock you out, she might have won.
Alrighty, Steelers Nation. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia and also Steelers Dynasty Podcast. Joined by my good mates here, Bubba, Brewer, and Shana. What's going on, Shane? How are you, mate?
Doing good. I put my brick background so I could disappear if you guys give me too much hard time.
Right.
I have to go back in time,
Just walk away. How you doing, Bubba?
I'm living the American dream. We're 2-0, soon to be 3-0, and I got my grass cut today. So everything is good in Western Pennsylvania. Some
would say the American dream would feel like a nightmare because we aren't scoring, 45, 46 points like the Saints. But I think we're doing very well at 2-0 in that. And I also find it funny, I've got Ray Gun in the title, right? And she's still kind of relevant here in Australia, like Ray Gun Receiver 2. People are talking about Receiver 2 all the time. Today, guys, we are going to go through the HDU Awards Week 2 and a recap of that. Before we do, though, there's one, maybe two questions, but one big question I want to talk about. Who's that?
Who was that?
Somehow Joey got onto my background there, so that was funny.
Gee whiz.
My co-host on the other show.
Oh my God,
Hey,
he's looking sparse.
So yeah, I want to bring up this comments around Broderick Jones and in his career over, and I want to start with you, Shana, because it feels like that Steeler Nation is giving up on a player yet again. Like, yes, he made mistakes. He did this, and Coach Tomlin pretty much said he's got to let him work into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and he's going to give him the opportunity to get better and find a role. But what are your thoughts about Broderick Jones?
I have a better take. I talked about this on a show earlier today on Ralph Williams' show, but this is a better take. Hear me out. Guys, Pittsburgh fans, get a grip. If you buy a $10,000 show dog, okay, and it shits on your rug twice, you're not going to get rid of it, okay? Because guess what?
What an analogy.
Jones just grabbed a little bit. He just got like side boob. He just grabbed a little flick. Guys, it wasn't even that bad of a hold. Yeah, there were 3 holds. I would sit his ass down too. It's a mental mistake. He's still very athletic. He's not at his position, and he's used to playing. And there are, guys, you guys want to argue, there are positions on the offensive line, okay? Left tackle is different than right tackle. It's just like you don't take a lefty, like I bat left-handed, throw right-handed. It's a learned, like, physical skill set that it's muscle memory. You move the guy in a different position. It's just not as natural. I don't know how else to explain it. He's still a great asset for the Steelers. You don't shit can him just because he shit 2 times. Guys, it's like that dog. You spent all that money. You're going to work with it. You're going to work with this guy. You're going to sit him down. You're going to say, hey, dipshit, get your brain right. Let's work on it. That's what it is, boys.
So you're saying it's a $10,000 dog, right? Is that right? $10,000 dog.
Well, I'm not. Broderick Jones is not a dog, but I'm saying for people that don't know any better, you buy an expensive dog, okay, $400 dog. You're not going to just like, hey, Sparky, let's go outside. or put him
Yeah.
down with a shot.
Poor
Like,
Sparky.
hey, we're going for a ride, and then just let him off in a cornfield. You don't do that.
Since when do we as well that the player has a really bad game, or maybe a few good games, and they're done like that? I don't think in his position as well, offensive line, it's learning all the time. And I think as well, what they're doing, what Tomlin said in his press conference was he's playing like the third tackle. He's a swing tackle. He knows both right and left, and also he's injured. Any more thoughts on that one, Bubba, around Broderick Jones, and should we be panicked?
Well, the Steeler fans are so finicky. And look, I'm a Steeler. I'm a diehard. Like you saw me after the game. I was lit. But anyway, those 3 penalties in that whole series, you had to pull him out.
Right.
So this year, Tomlin's doing stuff that's different where you know what I mean? A couple years ago, he might have let him still in there. Maybe talked to him on the sidelines and kept him in there. But Dan Moore is playing so good, which I am surprised. And Troy Fautano had a great game. His stats were unbelievable.
You just don't pull the plug because guess what?
No, you can't.
They can.
It's a good thing to have, guys. You got 3 tackles that, but you just can't say, oh, well, he had 3 penalties. And like Shane said today on one of his shows, because he's been doing this all day long, if they see you hold one time, they're watching you and they keep watching.
Yeah.
That's what, all eyes were on Jones. And I didn't even see that big long pass. I didn't even know Pickens caught it because I was looking on my TV. But that was a backbreaker, and then he did it right again. So he was already upset. Tomlin pulled him out. It's okay. It's the second game of the season. Like it's September. This ain't December.
And they're paying him a lot of money, Bubba.
I know.
We have to pay this guy money. We might as well get the work out of him because he can do the work.
Send it to the wrong email.
Yeah, I'll text Chloe after your email after this. But I'm with you, Phil. I think the overall reaction is I've been hearing that Broderick Jones is a bust, and I simply do not believe that. I think that's total hogwash and just crap. I think that Tomlin did the right thing. He was trying to get the best men on the field and rotate and see what happens. Jones made mistakes. You pulled him out. You pulled his head in, knocking his head, say, "Get better." You're now on the bench. Get better, basically.
It's a learning experience. He's still a year. Our offensive line is actually very, very young, and we're still doing stuff that we need to do. And as last year at this time, look, Najee was getting 38 to 40 some yards. He's almost getting 70 yards now, in a game, and Warren's coming on. So our rushing attack is where a little bit more is where I want it to be, and it's where it is.
Rod says he had a whole year last year, but yeah. I kind of see that point, but I also disagree with it as well, because I think that Broderick Jones is also injured, and you go with your best starting 5 right now, and your best starting 5 is Dan Moore. A lot of people don't like Dan Moore, but he's playing good at left tackle.
No, you can't get rid of him.
You're going well with Fautanu. Then Jones just sits back, and he's not going to be a bust, nor is he going to be cut down the line. You just sit him behind, and you develop a good tackle into the future. And if one of the fellas goes down, you put Jones in. So he had a good, I think he had a whole year. He played well last year at that position at right tackle, last 3 games. And he started off very, very, it's just been terrible, I think, with the what he's been doing. But there's not time to panic, I don't think, in terms of, only time to panic if it's been consistently awful, really bad. But you've got Fautanu and the other bloke there, Dan Moore, which everyone hates for some fucking reason.
Yeah, he's not well liked.
Not everyone. I don't know why. I think he does a good job. So Rod says, I like Dan. Exactly. I think he gets such a massive flack because you know why? Because he's the 3rd rounder, 4th rounder.
He's not a number 1 pick. Probably. Yeah,
and he does a serviceable job, and he's not making too many mistakes. And even Tomlin said, Dan Moore, you're doing a solid job. That's why he's there. So maybe for another reason too, for Broderick Jones not being there, is because Dan Moore's doing a better job, and that's okay. Can we not sit? This is the big thing. This is the big thing about the NFL now. Can we not sit players anymore for 1 or 2 years while they learn, while they're 23, 24, 25? You throw Bryce Young in a different position. Bryce Young in the quarterback gets nailed. Now he sucks. He's terrible.
Yeah, he's sitting the bench.
Yeah, but I think we forget we're such an instant gratification culture. Like we need this play to be like this. Now. All right. So, and everyone else, email Bubba.
I got it. There it is. I
Send all your hate mail to Bubba.
yeah. Well,
No,
I'll write you back if it's hate mail.
Yeah,
hate
you
mail.
will.
I love it.
All right.
I love hate mail.
And one thing we'll jump into, I know it's going to probably be a longer show now. But another thing it always is, I want to talk about was the Russell Wilson thing with these. Alex says, has anyone heard of Russell Wilson's calf injury, possibly a slight Achilles tear? I'm not a doctor, I don't know. But Mike Tomlin has said that Russell Wilson's QB1 and Fields' QB2 filling in. What are your thoughts, Shane, on this QB1 drama?
I think, okay, now let's scratch the fact that, a couple months ago, I made a reach and said, okay, Fields.
I couldn't find it, by the way. I tried finding it for us. I couldn't find it.
I said it.
Somewhere. I know.
But I think the days where we talked about this earlier, it's not Wally. It's people always say, oh yeah, you're not going to lose your job to injury. You're not going to lose the starting. That's baloney. Look at Wally Pipp and Joe DiMaggio. Wally Pipp gets hurt. Joe DiMaggio comes in. With the West Virginia, Mountaineers, they had a quarterback named Adam Bernardic. He got hurt in a close game. A guy named Pat White came in, and guess what? He broke every record at West Virginia and took them to like bowl game after bowl game after bowl game. If you come in and play lights out, now Fields has not done that. But if he has a couple spectacular games, he's going to stay in that spot. If he wins 2 more games, he's going to stay in that spot. But, it's Fields to lose. He just has to bring that. He has to bring up his play a little bit.
Sorry, I was muted. I feel like this might happen, and I'll let Bob have a go. I'm going to do the awards. I feel like Tomlin is going to be one of the best coaching decisions ever this year. If they go with Fields and he wins victories in 3-0 and 4-0, then they start Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is better than Fields in terms of TD production and yards and all that kind of stuff. Now, I think they're 2 different players, but I still feel like they're going to go back towards Russell Wilson at some stage. What do you think, Bubba?
I agree with you on that, but I think they're safe. Like, I didn't know about the Achilles tear, and I don't know how that is bad and how long that will be if that is true. But also, too, when they start getting into that, look, let Fields get through the first 2 months. And if we have Wilson when we're facing all our division, our division guys, all the 3 shitty teams in our division, if he plays against Kansas City, which I predict a big upset, that is where you want Russell Wilson to be, and that's the end of the season to get us over the hump, to get us into the playoffs. And then you already have Fields having some games underneath his belt, because he only won 11 games. Now he's won 13. He won 2 with the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we have to realize he would have had another touchdown if it wasn't for that pick that they called. He would have had 2 touchdowns. So, and we don't know if Broderick Jones wasn't holding and take that 50-yard pass away from him, where we would have been, and that could have opened up a little bit, because we only need to get like 20, 23 or 24 points. This defense is lights out. So if we get Wilson in, we can't go wrong with the price that we paid for these quarterbacks. I mean, hey, look at the Dolphins. I mean, he's in a nut farm now. He can't take a nut. He's
doesn't
done.
know if he's fine or not. Yeah,
he probably can't play ever again. So, it's just a chance.
I think we're in a good position, to be honest. Shannon, you got a thought on this?
Yeah, one last thing, and I'll drop this. Sorry. Listen, guys, like Bubba said, you got this guy at a yard sale. Okay, it's like, run that thing like you rented it. I know that's shitty, but listen, he's not going to be here next year. So if I don't care if his Achilles falls off, but if you win 2 games with that cat, put his ass in. But Fields is winning. Tomlin's going to put Russell in, but I'm telling you, Fields, he's probably at like a 5.5, a 6. He brings it up to a 7. as far as 1 to 10 scale on how he's playing, then it's over.
Is it bad optics if they go from Fields back to Wilson? Wilson sucks, then go back to Fields.
No, like Tomlin said, he doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
Yeah, and the fans shouldn't give two shits either, as long as they're winning.
Yeah,
but the fans are still bitching. We're 2-0.
That's because they're from Pittsburgh. These are people. These are people, and I said this before. They'll go to a cookie table, and they're just shoveling cookies in their face and bitching about how bad they are, and then sitting there and talking about they're trying to get with the girl in the bridal party, but they're talking about how ugly she is. This is the Pittsburgh. These are Pittsburghers. This is the type of shit they do.
Terry says here, Fields has proven he's ready. Trade Russell Wilson for a receiver. I don't think that's going to happen. Would you? Any thoughts on trading Russell Wilson? Because then you've got no one or two.
I just stay with those two, because you have to have two good quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, I always go back to the 49ers in the championship game where everybody was knocked out. They didn't have anybody.
Wait a second. Time out. Terry, is the gym over there or is it over there?
Is that his head or is that's not him?
He's
is that him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's posing.
Okay.
Yeah. G'day to the Ralph. We better start the actual show too. G'day Ralph as well, and g'day J-Devil says we'll be signing Ray Gunn soon as well. Rodrigo from all right. This one last Falatani. I liked his performance in Denver. Thoughts on that, guys?
It was great.
I did too.
Great.
Yeah.
I want to know where these guys are getting their pictures. Who's taking their pictures?
It's side.
It's like glamour shots.
That's J-Devil's back right there. I'm pretty
sure I'm used to. I'm desensitized to that.
Yeah, and we got the side profile.
We got side. We got biceps, triceps.
Love it. What a night! What a night!
Alrighty. So let's get involved. I think we kind of covered those two big areas. That is Broderick Jones, which don't sweat Steel Nation. It's fine. It's you guys. People, not you guys, but a lot of Steel Nation freaks out day to day. Just let it roll on, bro. Let it roll on. It's all. She'll be. Everyone needs an Aussie attitude sometimes. She'll be right. Fuck, she'll be right, mate. Don't worry about it.
She'll be right. Is that what it is? She'll be right.
She'll be good.
Yeah, she'll be right.
It's like an old car.
Do I need Rosetta Stone
in your garage, and you know it's going to start up?
Do I need Rosetta Stone to help me speak?
No. You just got to say she'll be right. Like she'll be right.
She'll be right. She'll be right. Okay.
It's pretty much like you fall over and she'll be right. Get up. No worries.
Right. Okay.
And even when there is some worry, you act like there isn't. A guy could fall over, lose his leg, and you go, "I got another one."
It's like Arabic.
I just know because I have a Russian tortoise downstairs. When it flips over on a shell, the son of a bitch can't flip over. So you got to help.
It won't be right.
At least he can see the sky. There's one positive.
He's seen a lot of light.
The moon,
Yeah.
Hey, Rodrigo said it's a barbershop. That's where he got that side thing. That's pretty slick. I like that.
Yeah, good haircut.
Is his other side just as good as that side, or is it different?
No, he can't show that.
On his other profile when it's called Generali
Rodrigo. He can only afford half a haircut because he's supporting this guy up here.
Alrighty. Hey. I was heard the Fields was the second most winning quarterback going back to last year. I'm not too sure.
He only had 11.
He won 2 games.
Yeah,
we don't do stats on this, brother. Alex, we don't count.
I'm okay with. I'm pretty good with stats, but he only won 11 games. What? So there's other quarterbacks that had better. So
let me get out my calculator.
So he's 13.
We're gonna do stats.
I guess in all it could be because we're 2-0 and there's other. No, I'd have to find out other quarterbacks. Fields is playing well. We'll have to see what happens in terms of QB1. Now, we'll go to our show. So the HDU Awards, the Hooly Dooly University Awards, which we're trying to pick 3 plays each week, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, and then 5 points for the MVP. Mm-hmm. Here's my calculations talking about stats from last week. So I'm going to name the Hooly Dooly Player of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
Boswell's on 12 points, TJ Watt on 8, Elliott on 3, Anderson on 3 for last week, and I'll try and update every single week. We had here as well Pickens on 3, Cameron Hayward. I don't know why I bother putting C there when they're both.
You got to put CAM.
Why would I put C there when it's Connor Hayward and Cam Hayward? Makes no sense. So Cameron Hayward got 3 and JBJ 1. Now, fellas, want to do the same thing again. We're going to go through 3 points for the kind of the best player, 2 points the next one, 1 point the next one, and then overall MVP, which gets 5 points, and then a play of the game too. So let's start with yourself, Bubba. Looking back to, I know it was a few days ago, and I've got to go to my stats to figure it out. But who's your 3 points? Who would be like your, the best player besides MVP? And we can double up too, by the way.
Okay, I'm going to go with a guy that I was talking about in training camp, and he had a huge, huge, huge interception in the end zone. I'm going to take Corey Trice Jr. Because with that, if he didn't get that interception, it could have been a totally different game, kind of maybe. I'll go with that.
There was a massive play that the Steelers just went. They beat us with a double reverse and a pass from Bo Nix on the sideline, and then got beat 2 people. And then next minute, Trice is like, "I got it."
Yeah, well, Minko's out of position on that one, on that play.
Just one thing from West. I know I'm like the show. However, Broderick Jones is talented enough to play both left and right, and smart enough. He'll be okay. Everyone, calm down. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Steeler out west. Is that a country? Is he a Cowboy? Steeler out west, or he just lives out west?
Nah, he's out like I think California way.
Oh, California way. Oh, he's out west.
Cali way.
I thought that meant he was over in like Beaver.
Yeah. And really, how far is west? Is west like going all the way around the globe, and it becomes
that's 3,000. West is probably
that depends.
I don't know
3,000
miles.
Relative. It could be 60 miles from Pittsburgh. You're west of Pittsburgh, or it could be someone out in California. Never know.
Yeah, he's from Cali way. So you know what, too? I just looked at my bloody flights yesterday. Getting home, I realized I'm going from Pittsburgh. Denver to Sydney, and that's 17 hours.
Wow,
isn't that fucking terrible? Because the first one, the first one is Sydney to Brisbane. I get like an hour, and then I get Brisbane to not to Denver, to Dallas.
Are you gonna watch
Dallas.
Steelers Super Bowls in the airplane?
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I would. I just watch Steelers Super Bowls and sit beside 2 guys, probably one a Cleveland guy and one a Raven guy, and there you are watching Super Bowls.
Why would they
and
be
then
in
you can
Brisbane?
look at them. You can look at them. It's like, hey guys,
I have a way. It's a long flight, and you gotta think like a criminal. But listen to me, brother. You get like a blanket. You put it over there. You get your laptop. You put your OnlyFans on, and just sit there and smile at the guy beside you. He's gonna move, and you get all that space for activity, man.
Just be really nice and say, "Come sit here with me. I'm so excited to sit with me."
You want to sit here? I can put my armrest up.
Yeah. You know what? I've done that once, though. I've actually fell asleep on a person next to me by accident. It was a 14-hour flight to Europe, and I went, "Oh, sorry, mate." Because you're that close together.
Well, I went to Orlando, and I'm a big guy, and I went down with my 2 buddies, and they were in the back, and I had to sit in between 2 guys in business suits. They were corporate guys. I slapped my DVD player. I was watching Ric Flair matches, and they just looked at me like I was an asshole. And they had to like scrunch up because I'm a big dude, and I'm like relaxed and.
That's a lot of chops. How long was the flight? Because that's a lot of.
So it was like 3 hours. Yeah, it was 3 hours.
So about 270 chops.
Yeah, well, they didn't like me sitting beside him.
That's all right. Okay, so I like that answer, Corey Trice. I think you deserve some respect getting 3 points this week. What about yours, Shano? About 3 points. Who gets your
3 points, right? 3 points.
Yeah. So the first,
I would have to say Alex Highsmith.
I didn't even think about Alex Highsmith. Yeah, got a sack.
Yeah, he played.
Right.
He had a sack, and he played good. And guys, it's hard to be that guy that plays on the other side of TJ Watt. So,
but even you're getting table scraps that are good scraps, though.
Yeah, man, it's fillet. I mean, you're getting half a fillet and half a lobster tail
every time.
And he's still, but he delivered. I mean, he didn't do any finger punches like TJ did. He knocked him down with his finger.
I think he touched his ankle. I don't even know how that happened.
He grabbed him by the ankle. That's still a sack.
Oh, I know, but it was just like one finger.
I know. His finger's strong. He can lift up the planet. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
So Highsmith got, where is he? 4 total tackles, 4 solo. No, by the way, I don't know if that on ESPN is like 4 total tackles. So it must
I'm looking at that
must
too.
have 4 by himself then. Or is it like 4 solo and 4? I don't know if it's like if it's
you have
solo.
assist there. If it's an assisted tackle, it'll be an assist. So
he's got 4 total and then 4 solo, which means I guess 4 of them the 4 solo, 1 sack and 2 tackles for a loss. It's very confusing because did he get 2 tackles for a loss and 4?
No, he had 4 tackles, 0 assists, 1 sack, and 2
And two of them
tackles
were-
for losses. 2 tackles for losses.
Is that separate?
It's all
No,
separate.
together.
It's all separate on the stats. You want me to share my screen?
Yeah, if you got it. Because I'm always confused.
Yeah, but
So
it's
you're saying he's got
total of tackles though. So he had 4 tackles, 2
I'll make
for
it
loss.
like
1
she
sack.
said. I'll make it bigger. Right here.
Yeah. Run me through it.
So you got Highsmith here, 4 tackles, 0 assisted
Yeah.
tackles, 1 sack,
Oh,
2 tackles for losses.
What's that on? But
What's
with
that?
those two tackles for a loss, are they part of the 4?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
part of the
yeah,
four,
yeah. 2 of those were
Right,
behind
right.
the line of scrimmage. So that's a big deal.
Yep.
I mean, that's a negative
That's
play.
huge.
Yeah. So like, look at Mika's. It's very difficult for a safety to have one, a loss. But Elliott had 1 tackle for a loss. Elliott was 4 tackles, 5 assisted tackles.
And you know what you're showing there is everybody's pretty equal, like on tackling. Like everybody is getting
Right.
like 2 to 3 tackles.
Yeah.
I mean, look at TJ Watt. He only had 2 tackles, and he had a sack and he had an assist and 1 for a loss.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
am I right?
See, I don't know. I kind of read it differently because with Elliott's one, right? And we're on a complete off topic, but
Yeah.
Elliott's 4 tackles but 5 assists. So how do you have 4 tackles but
Okay, here's what works. The 4 tackles are solo tackles, where it's just you and another guy.
Okay, so he's
get
had
him down.
9. Okay,
The
right.
assist is might be 2 guys hit him at the same time, or you wrap a guy up and another guy helps you bring him down. That's
He had
an assisted tackle.
9 tackles plus 1 tackle for a loss. Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what he did. Yeah.
Right.
4 tackles solo, 5 assists. So he had 9 tackles total.
Okay. All right. So you've got Alex Highsmith. I'm going to go with one I think deserves like at least an award somewhere, somehow, some way. Is Darnell? How do you guys say it in your Pittsburgh? Like Darnell Washington.
Darnell.
Darnell.
Washington.
Washington.
I think he deserved the 3.
Washington.
Look, I don't know what else he
took
did
mine.
beside. Maybe he
I
was
was gonna that was my next guy.
What's
Damn
that? Darnell.
I was gonna Darnell. Yeah, I was gonna take
Yeah.
him.
I think like I got to go back and watch. I've seen some of the highlights and the 40 again, but it's very tough to see if he's doing blocking and that kind of stuff. But I think that he had a pretty big play against a TD, and his first TD deserves 3 points. I think that was fantastic. The route was awesome. He broke away. The pass was great. The guy's 6'8". You get him more involved in the next game.
He's so huge.
And he's a
big.
blocking tight end. And he's getting TDs. So he got a TD for us in the first TD of the year. Was it? Yeah, first TD of the year was Darnell Washington in the second game. So he's my number 3. What about your number 2, Bubba?
Number 2, again, liking his play, second start. I'm going to go with Zach Frazier.
Yeah, true. That's Shane's.
I figured. I know he was going to probably say something, but I mean, he second start, smooth. Trying to be more of a leader on the line besides Daniels. So you're seeing that, like Shane said before on many podcasts, his intelligence level. You know what I mean? So he's making holes and he's blocking and he's very active on the line.
You don't lose much with him on the run blocking. When they're running the ball, he gets that second line of guys and he's blocking 2 people. And I saw him this game 2 times pointing and yelling. I mean, he's taken a leadership role and he's definitely a stud. And I have to piggyback off of you, Bubba.
Did you get a jersey? Did you get his jersey yet?
I don't own any jerseys. I'm not a jersey guy.
Oh,
I might get a shirt that has his number on it.
You're not a jersey guy?
No, I'm not a jersey guy.
No,
I'm a jersey guy.
Okay.
Shane, what about number 2?
I'm piggybacking with Bob. Bubba, I'll tell you.
Back Frazier.
Zach Frazier, baby. Number 2. Give him 2 points.
You guys ever watch the show, Frazier?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cheers.
Did you like it? No, not that one. The one.
No, I just like Cheers. I like Frazier.
I like Frazier.
Cheers.
I like
Frazier on Cheers because
The actual show though, the show about him with the other dude.
No, I didn't like when he broke away.
I
Frazier,
loved it.
Kelsey Grammer is a great actor, but he was better as an ensemble cast with Cheers. Cheers to me is one of the greatest comedies of all time.
Cheers is
Who-
coming back. They're gonna have
who
like an
was-
8-run spin-off of it, like an 8-run like Cheers now. Like I guess Woody bought the bar.
No, that's not happening.
It's
Are you
happening.
kid-
Look it
Are you
up.
serious?
Google that shit.
Well,
Bubba.
it's
Wait, who's the bloke? Who's the bloke at the bar, like on the left hand side? Was it the bus driver?
that
Oh,
was Cliff.
The mailman.
Cliff Clavin.
The mailman.
Right.
Cliff.
Yeah,
He
Cliff.
always
no.
had to have a beer in his hand every time he went in there.
Always thought he knew everything about everything, but he could never get a date.
Ah, jeez. So back-to-back Frazier, right? I like that pick. I'm going to go into. I think this sounds kind of crazy because the stats weren't there, but I'm going to go George Pickens. If they allowed that pass to exist,
Yeah, that's good.
which is down Fields to George Pickens, and also another one where another holding call was called on the outside. Pickens is playing fantastic. He's on fire right now. If they allowed that to happen and there was no holding call, we're talking about Pickens could be MVP of the game. So I'm going to go for him for 2 points. I think he is someone that is not making it about himself, but he is the receiver number one. But he's also, I think, playing really good football for the team. So I'm going to go overall.
Patrick Surtain got schooled by Pickens. That was the
big time.
matchup that I said last week on our show, and Pickens schooled him. It wasn't for that holding call he would have had over 100 yards.
Yeah, this one here, that one.
Yeah.
It
This
wasn't
one,
that bad.
he'd
It wasn't
had a
that bad.
touchdown with a pick, so he had over 100 yards and a touchdown. So
People were blaming that on Broderick Jones. It's like you go look at it. That holding call, if you just were to singulate that holding call, it wasn't that bad.
no,
It really wasn't
they
that bad.
caught
That
him
would have been a
before.
great.
They caught the first one, that was the second one. So
Yeah.
they were looking at him again, like Shane said before. He was already under a microscope because they're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
we're going to catch
yeah.
him again," and that's what happened.
That's why they got him with that little flicky flick.
Yeah.
Dead set. All right, for number 1 point. I'll tell you what, the MVP is going to be very tough to choose this week. Very, very tough.
It is.
What about your number 1 point, Bubba?
I'm going to take. I'm not going with the obvious, maybe for MVP, but I'm going to take the punter.
Yeah, it's a good one. I didn't think
Yes.
Waitman.
What's his name? Waltman?
of that.
Waitman.
Cool.
Averaged 50 some yards a punt.
It's good.
Hey, look, we didn't know what we were getting, or what. I know he played for the Steelers, and he played in Denver, but I was happy with the punts. His hang time was good. They didn't really do anything. Our special teams was great, but I'm gonna take him, and I think he's gonna be a secret that we need. So if he can pin opponents down in the 10 or whatever, because he's got his leg is strong as
Just
hell.
kicking him like 55 yards.
Yeah.
a boot.
So if he's kicking 50 yarders and he's hang time of 3.7 or 3.9, right there he's a winner every time.
So you've
I'll
gone
go with him.
cornerback, center, and punter.
Yeah, I
For
went
your
all
kind of
over the
3
place
points.
tonight.
Yeah. What
All
about
over
yours,
the
Shane? What about the number one point?
Number 1 point, I'm going with Fryermuth. Guys, guys, he had 39 yards, total, which isn't a lot,
He has nice
But-
catches too.
but they were nice catches at the time where they needed to keep the ball moving. So he gets 1 point.
I'm gonna go with the guy throwing the football to him. I think Justin Fields does deserve a 1 point for this. He obviously isn't turning the ball over. He's playing safe football, but going towards move that sideline. When he broke out to the left-hand side, it was a nice touch pass to Fryermuth to move the ball. And I think we are being in discussion with other people on this podcast and chats before a few days ago, saying, "Oh, it's exactly the same offense as Matt Canada," and that's totally wild to me because they're moving the ball, they're getting a
Did
chance.
you block
to
that
go
guy?
down.
Because that's crazy.
Not yet, no.
Okay.
I
And
can't.
if he's listening right now, that's crazy. Because Matt Canada, anything that Matt Canada did was not as good as Arthur Smith and what we're doing now. And we're just getting a little bit of the taste of this offense, and we're already better in 2 games.
One thing is too, I want to bring up this from the Falcons game where there was a lot of flack around Arthur Smith and the passing chart this is week 1 versus Falcons where he didn't go to the middle of the field, and then next minute you see the Jalen Hurts, who's a great quarterback, go to the middle of the field, get picked off, and the game ends. And I think it was the other bloke they had. Who was it here? I've got another. I'm pretty sure this is it. It was Jesse Bates had 5 tackles or 3 tackles with us in week 1. So Jesse Bates had 6 tackles with us. Week 2, 12 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 2 passing defenses, and a game-winning INT. And people were like complaining about Smitty, got to use the middle of the field. That's why he didn't use the middle of the field versus the Falcons.
If it would have been Matt Canada would have used the middle of the field. Fields would have probably had 2 interceptions, and that would have been the first game. So anybody who says Matt Canada is an offensive coordinator, anything's better, needs to go and get their head checked out, maybe to go down to Torrance, the state hospital, and sign himself in, because Matt Canada's offense was terrible.
It was because Kenny Pickett had more yards and Fields, but this team looks so much better.
The tempo of this offense is very good. It's just that they sputtered in the third quarter, though, a little bit.
Yeah, the penalties were there.
Penalties killed them.
That killed them. So
yeah,
I like that. So I've got Fields, I've got Washington, Pickens, and Fields. So 3-2-1. Shana's got Highsmith, Frazier, and Muth, a tight end. Here's the tricky part: is trying to find an MVP of the game. This really is, and this is really, really tough. What are your thoughts, Bubba?
Well, I'm going to go back to what I was just talking about. I'm taking my MVP of this game because he didn't lose the game for us. He threw a touchdown. He could have got 2 touchdowns. He could have had over 200 and some yards passing. I'm going to take Justin Fields as the MVP due to the fact the penalties went against him and them drives. And if he didn't have those 3, and also 2, he threw to Austin and got a first down, and they got a nice call, and then he brought it back. So it wasn't his fault. And he scrambled a little bit. I know he got 2 sacks, but he didn't throw an interception. He threw it away when he needed to. He played smart. And it's very, very hard to win in Denver. I don't care what anybody says. So my MVP is Justin Fields.
What about, and I like that too. It's very tough because this game wasn't an outstanding MVP like week 1, I don't think.
No, but it still stays on the same side of the ball. And I have to go with the defense. And I'm going, if I could pick just the position without a name, I'd say the safety position. Because at the safety position, they had 9 solo tackles between the 2 of these cats and 7 assisted tackles. And that would be Elliott and Fitzpatrick. I wish I could each give them a point and a half.
Can you choose one or the other?
I would say Deshaun Elliott.
Well,
he was on the ball.
When Denver did that trick play, Fitzpatrick was out of position.
Yeah, Deshaun Elliott, though, he was all over the ball. He had 5 assists. I don't remember a play where he wasn't in on a tackle.
Oh my God! Somebody drove by Torrance State Hospital. Jim, oh my God, it's not a nice place. That's funny. I didn't know anybody. Okay, right on. That's funny.
That's mine as well. I thought, like I said, this one's very hard to pick MVP. I thought TJ Watt and Boswell would, last week. Fields is up there because he's winning games as well. But I thought exactly the same. Deshaun Elliott is playing really lights out football, and this is why it's going to feed into I'll do mine first, into the player of the week. My player of the week includes the MVP, and that was lining up when it was 3rd and 1. They hand the ball off, and Deshaun Elliott cut through the line, unblocked, and knocked him out. That reminded me of the 2008 defense. That's why he's my MVP and also player of the game. Now, player of the game won't get his points, but Elliott definitely gets 5 points from each of us. He's going to rise in standings. And also, I've got to try and think if I'm going to do something crazy at the end. I was thinking, I have promised things before in the past, but I thought about if whoever wins the overall 17 weeks, I'd try and get a jersey, and maybe I do a giveaway for a jersey. But I have promised things in the past that I have not delivered. So
you know what?
Make sure you get their address.
I would like to. You could go on a website and make air fresheners. I would like to do like a Deshaun Elliott air freshener and just do his head.
Oh yeah, for the car,
or a cunts,
Oh no, we didn't monetize. Can't say no.
What? No.
Oh. It's not one of those. Wait. It's not one of those scratch and sniffs, is it? Because that'd be bad.
It's gonna smell like a fishery.
Oh. Alrighty. So I went MVP. I think Elliott's playing fantastic. He's a great safety with pickup. He's physical. He's running down. He's finding the lanes. He's checking in. I also thought too, this defense was Bo Nix was allowing the short passes, and the guys were just nothing there deep.
Well,
you don't see Minka in the last.
Did you hear somebody bitching about Patrick Queen? Somewhere I read, or people were bitching about Queen and whatever. He wasn't even 100%.
No.
Like, come on, people. Like
he was solid. I think he had 4 tackles or 5 tackles. He was good this week.
I mean, he still had a groin injury. I have a groin injury. I can't even get to the fridge. He's out there playing with a groin injury.
Why can't other players step up and maybe it's a part of the scheme? Like, what's he done that bad?
I don't think he's doing bad. I don't know what they're 2 games with the Steelers. And look, we got a lot of football.
He put his paw up there in a 4th and 7 when Bo Nix threw a pass in 4th and 7 when Sean Payton went for it and knocked it down.
Yeah,
like
somebody was like, "Oh, Patrick," and I read it somewhere.
Nah,
I'm like, "What are you?"
These are people just complaining to complain. The Steelers defenses have held them to 16 points, and TJ Watt should have had him at now 10 points. And I think if we beat the Chargers, then I'm going to be even more angry than I am now.
We will beat the Chargers.
But this thing about Queen is like, because he's not getting fed the tackles or whatever it may be, he's still he's a valuable part of the defense. And he's also organizing everyone too. But also too, Minka's been very quiet, but you haven't heard him because he's probably been doing all the background stuff, getting everyone, no one's going deep to Minka. No one's going deep to body JPJ. Only time you see JPJ is when he's holding someone for too long. He does it once a game. That's okay. So I don't know. That's crazy to me, man. I've got Elliott because I think that one tackle is my play of the game. Do you guys have a play of the game, Shano? Any play of the game?
I'm going to ride your coattails. The one would be the callback, where they called that one back that literally was just like he threaded a needle. That would be it. However, you can't count that, so I would have to go with that first play where Elliott went right up through that hole, unblocked, made a great tackle right when he got the ball. The running back got the ball handed to him. That just sticks out.
He was almost grabbing the ball as he tackled him. It was great.
Right.
It's insane.
He almost grabbed the ball as he was handing off. That would have been fantastic. But
has anyone ever done that? You can do that, right?
Yes.
If you in the middle of the play, just like run through the ball. Maybe Troy did that. I don't know.
It happens sometimes on pitches, like options, sometimes. And
they'll time it up where it's pitch and they just run with the ball. It's carried all the way.
They do the option where they run and then the quarterback can either keep it or pitch it when they run to that flat.
I feel like TJ Watt might do that to Burrow. I feel like, hang on, where is he? This guy. I need a better picture of Burrow because he's recently cut his hair.
He looks like Christian Haydenson. Like he looks like Darth.
That team
Vader.
is that team's in disarray.
Yeah. What I should do as well, I should update these as well because we have like wins now against the Falcons and wins against here too. So
the times are there. That's good.
Yeah, that's your time.
All those teams that you just put on there, I'm gonna swear. I'm not fucking scared of any of those teams there at all. Not one. Not really. One team at all.
Charge is going to be a tough game, I think, this weekend. For sure.
It'll you know what? But the thing is though, and I don't know if I can't because I got to pick what? I already picked an MVP, but I got to pick a star or play or what I got to pick?
Play of the game.
Play of the game.
Play of the game.
Yeah, play of the game. Whatever your favorite player was. Mine was the Elliott and Social Shane. Was Elliott tackle. It was just unbelievable. It was like there was Steelers defense. It was like
that first touchdown throw was pretty spectacular too.
You know what? I you know what I liked though? I liked the Freiermuth catch. The little bit out. I thought that was kind of cool. It kind of
was
just out there. You know what I mean? And he it just looked so smooth.
But he got his foot in bounds. Yeah, that was really good. That was really athletic.
I'm starting to like this defensive line because the Denver Broncos weren't running on us at all. I mean, they had that one guy he put in. Maybe they got a little bit, and after that, they shut him down. They shut down Williams. So this defensive line is just something.
I'll make a point about that. Javonte Williams was 11 carries, 17 yards. Tyler Batty, whoever that is, 116. Boom. McLaughlin was 6. So they ran pretty much was about 50 or 25 or 49 yards rushing the ball. That's pretty good.
That's pretty yes.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good football.
Yes.
Rod says I like Washington's first TD. I did too. But I go back to that Muth one because they broke out to left-hand side. Justin Fields on the roll. He had his man, touch pass, just nice bucketed in. two-hand catch, touch, bang, out of bounds. Sets him up for, I think, a field goal or TD.
Second game, it's going to be, look, he's going to throw to the people that we know, Pickens, Freiermuth. And Justin Fields spreads the ball out to a lot of people, he's not just looking at Pickens all the time. He spreads the wealth. And what happens is that first series, when he's trying to hit Najee, he's got to hit him. That's the only bad thing. He never hits Najee in the flat. It's too short or something, but yeah, it'll come. It'll come this week, I hope.
Well, that play was called back. The play that was called back past the Pickens. Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, that was insane. Joey says we scored in that drive. I guess it was the Darnell one was next. So yeah, I like the play as well. I just go back to the defense with Deshaun Elliott. I think he's made himself a Steeler real quick and fast. He was on the show, the Steelers Sick podcast with the two fellas. I don't know who they are. Two fellas had him on as a guest. And he talked about that Mike Tomlin was the best coach he's ever had. So that's throwing shade, a little bit of shade at the Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh for the Ravens because he played for them. But like I said, they're all checking in. They seem to be checking in for the defense. They seem to be, once a tackle is made, they come around and they pat them on the head. They seem to be like, a band of brothers or a brotherhood of Steeler. I think they're doing something like that.
Mark, I think you're spot on because we were talking about this last year, how the atmosphere, the Steelers culture might be lost because they just
right
seem
now it's
like
pretty good.
It's pretty good now, guys. Because guess what? W's. That's what
winning, and I think our defense is to hold them to 16 points is pretty damn good.
But guys, they're going back to Steeler football. Steeler football is running the ball, power football, using the tight ends and the defense. This defense could be the top. I mean, it's a little biased, but I'm telling you, Burrows is going to get this.
Top five at least right now.
When Burrows comes into town or we go to Cincy, he's going to get the shit kicked out of him. I'm not sweating Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson's 2-6 against the Steelers, and the Ravens might be 0-3 this week. Like it could be a possibility, and they might get so far behind they might not be able to catch up. If Pittsburgh starts putting a little bit of gas on people and they start having Najee and Warren turn for averaging them to 100 and some yards plus Fields running a little bit, and we could be somewhere.
Here's something to go off what you're saying is in rushing games so far in 2 games, there's only 2 games. There's still quite a lot of data. It's 8 quarters, right? Najee 37 carries, Justin Fields 22 carries, Joe and Warren 11, Patterson 6, Pickens 1 went back 10 yards. That's 77 carries compared to 43 attempts passing. They're a running team. We know that. And some of the Steelers fan base, we want to see passing. But we want to receive it too. They're running the fucking football. It's what they fucking do.
They drove. They took time off the clock. That was a long drive. The Steelers defense is T.J. Watt is sitting there just ready to get in there. He's waiting. He's on his little teleprompter there. They're zigzagging whatever in his little laptop. They're sitting. Cam Hayward does not need to be out there for 6 to 7 minutes on defense. And they're holding them to 3 and longs. And the Steelers are actually getting in the first half was actually having 3 and short. Third down, they were converting. Now that third quarter, it was a little bumpy road. They were stalling. But look, they got the back where they needed to be, and then they ran the ball and they ran out the clock, and that's fine. They're going to run. This Arthur Smith offense, and it's not Matt Canada's offense. So I don't know who's smoking that wacky weed, but.
Do you want to hear something crazy? So overall third down, right, for the opponents, they've only converted four third downs and 2 out of 3 fourth downs. So 4 out of 21 times the defense has allowed a third down.
Well,
so that's why because our running offense is holding the ball. And this year so far with 2 games, we've held the ball 34 minutes compared to 26. Last year, it was the exact opposite because Matt Canada couldn't have drives. And what did we hear? If Matt Canada has short drives, the defense works too hard. Not anymore. We hold the ball, we run. If Fields got to run for 10 yards to get the first down, that's news to the downs. So they're doing that way. They're running the ball and they're holding possession. What you said, TJ's on the. What do I do next? Go and get him, then he's off. So.
Well, and the thing is,
doing good.
Najee last year was average. He only was getting like 38 yards in the first couple games. He wasn't averaging almost 70. So he's already doubled what the output he had last year in 2 games. If you go back and look, he had 30 some yards, maybe he had 40. It was a slow start for Najee. Now he's averaging 65, 70. If they had got a little bit more, he could be 85, start averaging about 90 to 100 yards a game, hopefully.
Yeah, 69 yards a game, 5 first downs. Fields got 6 first downs running. Warren's got 2, and they're only going to get better as well because that was the first time I think Warren was kind of healthy getting back to that position. Guys, any final thoughts, Shano, on this team or upcoming game versus the Chargers? We try and go to the Chargers. What are your overall thoughts? Do you think we got a chance? Can we win? How do we beat the Chargers?
I'll go first. But now, guys, listen. Everything goes out the door because of the way these guys are playing ball. This is like 1930s football. I can't believe they're not putting leather helmets on, taking the face masks off. It's ugly, but I love watching it. It's like like watching those rough and rowdy fights that they have in Charleston, West Virginia.
Those are crazy.
Where they have like people that are unathletic and totally out of shape, just slapping the shit out of each other.
Mark, you ever seen any of them?
No, rough and rowdy. Yeah,
they're funny.
You got to Google that stuff. So listen, that's what I like to see. I like to see that smash mouth Steelers football. Chargers, I don't know how they're going to handle that. God help anyone that can predict this game. And it's going to be.
Does it come down to Herbert? If they're going to make Herbert pass, and in our secondaries is JPJ's been lights out recently, taken down Sutton. Taking away the one.
It's better. It's the cornerbacks have an easier time if they have that alley covered with the safety, and they have great safety play, and they don't have to worry about Mika getting hurt because Elliott is they're fantastic. You have 2 studs back there covering your back when you're on that island by yourself as a corner, and it helps them out. So you've got a good backfield. Linebacker core, want to see McQueen healthy. I want to see those guys make some plays. But man,
we're at home too. This is an advantage I think for us too being at home. And I think that's what I was saying yesterday. Like everyone shoes away the 2-0 start. They went to Atlanta 1-0. They went to Denver 1-0. I saw they're 2-0 now, and that's really good for Mike Tomlin and this crew to go 2-0. And then you go if you get 3-0. Oh boy, that's a good opportunity to go further in the playoffs, right? So, and now we're at home. I think our guys like Muth will step up. I think Fields he'll be playing. I think he'll be playing. Not so. Like he's going to throw the ball down the field, but he won't give it away. And as long as they're rushing the ball and doing what they're doing.
And I don't want to give a secret out, but I read this on one of these, how-to books. Those erectile dysfunction drugs. How they make it work, the generic version, is they play Renegade while they're making it. So not only does it work like that way, it works with the Steelers defense getting stiff too. So just watch out, Chargers. They're going to play Renegade, and that defense is going to get stiff.
Oh, my God.
Bubba, how do you follow that?
I don't know. Hopefully I don't go limp. But anyway, look, I'm a diehard. I vicariously live like it. I'm taking Pittsburgh. I'm never going against the. I don't give whatever. Pittsburgh's going to beat the Chargers. They're going to run. They're going to keep running. They're at home. It's a big home game. It's going to be nice. People are going to be celebrating. They're going to be drunk. They're going to be. Yeah. They're going to be crazy. It's going to be huge. Now, I think Patrick Queen is going to show people because now he's at home. This could be the breakout game for Patrick Queen this Sunday because it's been different people being a star on defense. Everybody else was getting some of the pie. He hasn't gotten some of the pie yet, even though he's been starting the last 2 games and he's been playing, pretty much even though he's not healthy. I think Patrick Queen Sunday will be making some big plays and showing everybody why he signed with Pittsburgh at home. And Herbert, I heard he had an ankle injury or something, I believe. How is he going to deal with TJ Watt in this front seven and the defensive line? I know in training camp and off season, I know we were talking about it. This Cam Hayward seems revitalized. I mean, this defensive line is good because they're not getting winded, like I said before, because the offense is having a couple of these long drives. You know, even if they get a field goal, always win it. Like, people are bitching. They got anybody that bitches because we're winning. You got issues. We're winning. Who cares? By the end of 0-0-0 on the clock, and we're winning. That's all it's about. It's about winning games. We're beating AFC opponents. We beat Denver. We beat the Chargers. It puts us in a different AFC bracket, and then we just keep taking wins and stacking them until we get to these division guys. Well, those guys all suck anyway, even though it's going to be a dogfight. I'm not impressed with anybody in our division. So, and I'm glad that the Raiders beat the Ravens, and I'm glad that Kansas City beat Cincy. So, and I think we can beat Kansas City, even though I'm crazy. I'm not drinking and I'm not smoking anything. So I'm just being whatever. But
who's the biggest threat out of the AFC other than the Steelers? Would you say Baltimore or Kansas City?
Kansas City is the threat because they're the defending champs.
I'll tell you what, though, I think they're going to be up for Kansas City, and I think they're going to be up for Baltimore.
They're going to be up for every game because
Yeah.
I think this is. Look, I think, guys, this team in November and December when they get through to this hard schedule, and if, like we just saw, because Mark put that schedule up, if they're 6-2 or something going into the hard schedule, yeah, if we're 6-2 going into October,
yeah, I agree.
We got to play at Washington. If we do not have any letdown game, okay, and win the games we're supposed to. And I don't see our division opponents being tough on us. I think we can get into the playoffs. And with this defense and God praise everybody's healthy, sky's the limit. We just keep stacked. I'm just going week. I need to go 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
This week it's the Chargers.
We all should go 1 week at a time because we've got now five turnovers on defense. 4 interceptions. Kazi's got 1. All the cornerbacks have 1. Besides, I think JP Jones got 1, right? So Kazi ended the game last week. We've got 4 interceptions, and their defense is on fire. It's almost as good as advertised, where you don't need to do our hour and a half podcast, but we just did talking about it. But you know how good TJ Watt is. You know how Highsmith and Herbig rotation. Then the fellas up front, Ogunjobi's played well. Cameron Hayward's played well. Keanu Bennett's played well. They're chipping in. They're going all right. And their secondary is much better than years past. And they're all communicating. They're getting together. They're going into get them.
Like I said, when a different Steeler defensive player has a better game and outshines Watt or Highsmith or Minka or Cam, I mean, this week I believe Patrick Queen, because he's going to be in front of the Steelers' home. It's a home opener. He's never had it. He's never heard Renegade on the Steelers sidelines. Now he heard it on the opposite, but he never heard it when he's wearing the black and gold. And I'm telling you, that could be the factor. And I'll talk about it tomorrow night. Same thing. Patrick Queen could be his outcoming game this could be his Steeler outcoming. Out party. What the hell you call it?
Coming out party.
Homecoming party. Yeah.
The
thing is too, like, I think a lot of the media heads in the NFL were so fixated on our receiver 2 and also quarterback position, which has been doing okay. They forgot about the fucking defense. I said it last week on the AFC North roundtable, and I'll say it again tomorrow. You forgot about the defense. They're all rated me to be 0 and to come 4th. We haven't come 4th in our division since 1988. Which is like 36 years. So, our defense is, and this is why all the money goes towards in, and Mike Tomlin has his guys already there. TJ Watt, they're all prepped up. You got a Herbig, who, and even my mate Gage, who's from Denver Broncos Syndicate, he's a bloke that I've worked with before in the past. He was talking about how they let the third rusher beat them, and that was Herbig. So there are things moving. There are moving parts, and this team's playing really good football. And Dante Jackson's lighting him up too. He came from from nowhere. He gave a big play. The next play, though, or next series, he came from nowhere and tackled the guy in the backfield. You got guys who want to hit. And I know you guys have played football. I've never played football, but I know you guys see the defense when you see it, and you're like, okay, these guys are checked in. They want to hit.
Well, it's all unified with the team, and they're not letting up big plays. That defense is not letting up big plays in these first 2 games. They're not. There's not a big busted. There's not a busted. That busted play where it was a fake and then Bo Nix throw it. It was
that was out of Sean Payton's body bumhole. It was like out of nowhere, you know. And then next minute they got a pick anyway, so they saved the day.
We'll be fine. Take 1 week at a time. These Steeler fans. I believe me. I'm a Yinzer. Like I mean, I know. I mean, I never bet against them. I mean, I lived through the 80s, people. So I know all about Steeler football in the 80s when we had no quarterback. So, and it took 26 years from Terry Bradshaw when I was a kid to Big Ben Roethlisberger. So I lived all through that. So I know. I've seen a lot of Steeler football.
All righty.
I'm fired up for Sunday already.
Me too. J-Devil says, what's the deal with Broderick Jones? G'day. Not J-Devil, sorry, JJ52. Always get you guys confused. Anything more to add, Shayna, before we get out of here?
No, I think Blue Nose Steelhead's talking about Beanie Bishop, and, you know, we haven't talked about him much, but, you know, because everyone else is so spectacular. But what a solid ad, you know, and, you know, who's he replacing again?
He has a good play. He has one great play the last two games.
Yeah. But no, all I have is, guys, thanks for having me on, and Bubba and me can watch us tomorrow night when we do a little show called Steelers. I've done 4 shows, Bubba.
I know. It's Steelers Dynasty Podcast.
I know.
I've changed the name for the last
Steelers Dynasty Podcast.
Yeah,
right.
The third time changed it, I ain't changing it no more.
Like and subscribe, because Bob and me have been doing this since March. We're trying to get to 200 subs.
Yep, and we're pretty close. And I've been doing Steeler podcasting since 2018 in some kind of variation. And this is the best variation that I've possibly done. And
told you, fellas, it's gonna work. You chip in and do it, it's gonna work.
And I'm just chipping away at the Titanic iceberg, because I heard you talking about on your other show, on the other video, because I watch your videos going to work, coming home from work, going to work.
Thanks, mate.
And then some guy was like, and you were telling him how to do it. And you're like, hey, look, man, you got to have consistency. You got to do this. You got to do that. And it's true, because you're like, hey, Bob, you got to split your because you got a podcast. No one knows what the hell you're doing. You got to split. So I split both, and I do both. It's just as good. So I like doing this. I like talking Steeler football. I'm glad that we hooked up with you and collaborate and stuff like that. And, you know,
and by the way, we ain't stopping. We've got a party coming up in December 21st.
Oh man, I'm gonna get fucked up. No, seriously, I was feeling pretty good. That's the first time I drank Captain in a while. I was downstairs, man. I started as soon as kickoff. I was all right, Captain. I finished a bottle.
Yeah, we definitely we ain't stopping none. That's for sure. I'm not stopping on Steel Oz, and we just got to keep chipping away. I would always say, if you ever start a podcasting or whatever it is, or Instagram, just don't look at the views. Just keep doing it, keep turning up, and eventually you people come into the chat and have a good time. JJ52 says 24-hour stream. I will get a 24-hour stream when I hit 10,000 subs. We're about 7,500 away. That could be in 3 years' time, but that's all right. But we have here Shayna. Where we find you, Shane, is what's yours again?
I have West Virginia Mountaineer Mafia. Okay, that's my West Virginia channel. If you like college sports, I also do the Voice of College Football West Virginia channel. But the Mountaineer Mafia is
600 people. He had 600 views the other day.
Yeah,
which one was that on?
Right before I went on vacation, I had 800 in 24 hours. Then I went away for work and I went on vacation, and it was just like, oh. But guys, listen, like and subscribe to Bubba and me. I guarantee 30% of the show will be, you know, informative Steelers.
Oh yes,
journalism.
I then
70%.
I hit the road.
Tell you what it's going to be.
I have a little notepad and I write stuff down, and I got kicked out of more places talking Steelers than I could possibly imagine. I try to get on the field. I mean, I take video. I got Mark video, and he almost threw me out of training camp. I mean, I try, you know.
Yep. Now, what got him thrown out, ladies and gentlemen, is because his notepad is the Hello Kitty one, and he has all the Steelers autographs in that Hello Kitty notebook.
Yeah, it looks a bit odd out there.
And
You look strange.
too. A little lunchbox with a little water bottle. I and I had some soup, and I was just waiting in line for the Steelers to go by so I could eat some soup while I'm waiting in line.
Yeah, Teddy says just no stats at all. No stats.
No, numbers suck. Guys, listen to me. We do this. And then, you see, like, when I watch West Virginia, I smell a pepperoni roll. I'm like, yeah, they're going to win. But you know what?
I had a pepperoni roll the other day.
Bubba's like, I smell Icy Light.
Well, Iron City, it was a Captain. I have Icy Light and Iron City in my fridge.
Captain and Coke.
Have you guys ever heard of this? It's an Australian slang. It's an Australian song. This isn't the right lyrics, though. I'd like to have a beer with Mark because Mark is my mate. Actually, that's not the right slang though. Have you ever heard the song I want to have a beer with Duncan?
No.
You know that?
Is that the Wiggle song or something?
Nah, it's like an Australian slang. It's like I like to have a beer with Duncan because Duncan's me mate. It's so Australian. But the fact that JJ52 knows that is insane.
That's like a bar song you sing?
Yeah, it's like an Australian song. Like
so when you go to the bar, someone sings it, and then the whole bar sings it when it guys drink.
Yeah, like if you know a guy called Duncan, he's Duncan's me mate, and I'd like to have a beer with Duncan. I don't know. It's fucking don't worry about it. Yeah,
Duncan will come to the Christmas party.
Oh, it's Slim Dusty. That's right, Slim Dusty. So that
is JJ52 an Australian or is he as Arizona?
Nah, he just knows a lot about Australians. It's like him and fucking Daredevil know more than I do.
Really? And you live there.
Australia. I think they live there. They've lived there. They've been on whole. I think JJ52 is in the army or something. He's all over the shop. He's like you, Shana. You're everywhere.
I've been everywhere. Yeah, I've been everywhere, man. Remember that song?
Johnny Cash.
Yeah, and AJ too. AJ's from New Zealand. He says, "I know a Duncan. He fucking hates that song."
When I was in Korea, there were a lot of Kiwis over there teaching English as a second language, and I got shitty with a bunch of y'all. So
yeah. So he says here, I met and worked with a lot of Australians in the military.
Me too. Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, my dad took R&R in Vietnam, and he said that was the best place he took R&R was Australia.
Really?
Yep.
What's R&R? What's that?
Rest and relaxation.
Okay.
A little bit during Nam. That was in 68, 67.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was.
Teddy says, I think they're trolling me. No, I don't think it's a troll. I've seen much better different trolls. And JJ52 and Daredevil, like they know a lot about Australia. Like the fact that Daredevil knows girls called gangers is amazing. You guys know what
what's that?
A ganger's like a hoe,
Oh, it's not a girl?
Nah, it's a girl, but she's like a hoe. Like she's like a
she's a whore.
Yeah, she's a whore.
Oh, she's a whore.
This is a kid show, Bubba. We just talk about Viagra and Renegade. We don't talk about those girls.
Well, there's nothing wrong with them.
I think we're now on your show a bit of my show at the end because it's now there's no 30% of Steelers are now done. It's 70% talking about Viagra and gangers.
Oh, gangers! That's a nice little slang word.
Oh, it's not nice for the lady though. You know what I mean?
And if they know, they know when you say that, they're like,
"Oh yeah, she's a trick." Yeah, that's right. She's a ganger.
She's a trick.
You got me all. I fogged up my screen.
I know.
Talking about the gangers.
JJ52 says I hang out with dingoes at Uluru every weekend. Do you guys know what Uluru is? Uluru? No. It's spelled wrong, but it's all right.
Is that a bar?
No, Uluru is like the Ayers Rock. You know Ayers Rock in Australia, the big rock.
Oh, okay.
No. So it's like the Aboriginal word for Ayers Rock. It's the natural word is Uluru, but you spell it like ooh. I can't know how to spell it. It's not spelled like that. Oh, Daredevil used to root one. See, there he goes. He's in touch with the culture.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's good to learn geography and stuff.
Well, I love this too. Did Shane say if he smells pepperoni, he knows his team's going to win?
No, pepperoni rolls. I get it though.
Now, when you eat pepperoni rolls, Shane, do you dip it in sauce?
Nah, not always, because that's what
you just eat it plain, no
yeah.
sauce on the side.
They'll come like a loaf. There'll be like 8 pepperoni rolls in a roll.
Yeah.
So these ones you get one-offs are not real pepperoni rolls. They come like a dozen or 8, and you know,
Do you ever
Yeah.
eat a pepperoni roll, Mark? You ever eat one?
Nah, never. No.
we'll get you one. We'll get you
Wow.
one.
I've been
in December.
pepperoni pizza.
Okay.
George
what about
says,
a stromboli?
a what?
A what? A stromboli?
No. No.
You don't know what a stromboli is?
I'm not even sure what you're saying, to be honest.
Oh,
Stromboli?
Stromboli.
Nah,
It's
never.
a fucking pizza flipped over and stuff's inside it.
Oh, like a calzone.
Kind of like
No,
a
a
calzone.
stromboli.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna look up the difference between a calzone and a
Calzone. I've
stromboli.
had calzone before. I've had a calzone for sure. I love calzones. I've had a ham, mushroom, and cheese calzone.
Well, one has ricotta cheese and one doesn't.
Yeah, a calzone has ricotta cheese. A stromboli
Yeah,
does
stromboli
not.
does not. That's the difference.
Yes, and I can't do
And
cottage cheese.
stromboli, you get like a ham and cheese stromboli. Like in Morgantown, you have, if you had money, you got a stromboli, okay, at like a 7-Eleven or Sheetz at night, and you'd get, and it'd give you the shits, but you stromboli,
Strom.
S-T-R-O-M-B-O-L-I.
I've had like a
Pepper got it right. Pepper got it right. Because you can get all these toppings inside it, Mark. Pepperoni, ham, sausage, mushroom, green peppers. And
So
there's a
like
place.
a folded pizza.
Yes. And there's a place in Blairsville. They do turkey pot pie strombolis, Shane.
Ah.
Turkey pot pie strombolis. What? I don't like ricotta cheese, so I wouldn't eat that.
Holy dooly.
I
There was
love
another one here. Wait, George says my son parachuted into Australia. There you go, with the army. See, everyone's got connections
So
here.
wait a second, George. Did he jump in like airborne, jump in, you know, and then like do jumping jacks when he landed? Couple push-ups?
Few run a few sets, run a few 40-yard dashes.
Yeah.
You know. All right, guys. I think we're done. I think I'm done. You guys done? You guys want to get out of here?
Now I want to go eat a stromboli, but
I'm
everything's
hungry now.
closed.
That made me hungry.
I know.
There you
I
go.
had, you know what I ate for supper was I had 6 eggs, and that was it.
Alex is on it, baby.
What,
Alex,
eggs and
you
nothing
know.
else? Like, there's nothing else with eggs. Just eggs.
Well, eggs. I
like
put a little
fried
bacon.
eggs.
Yeah, I scrambled eggs. Yeah, scrambled.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a real good cook.
Yeah, right.
Oh, she married a PA Dago. She married an Italian.
What's a dago? What's that?
Italian. Yeah.
Italian.
Is that like
My-
bad slang? Is that good
my
slang?
mom-
Oh
Dago.
yeah. My
Yeah,
mom,
it's like the N
oh
word.
yeah.
It's like
My
the N
mom
word.
got
You gotta be one to say it, you know.
Oh yeah.
Now we're canceled.
Yeah, you don't say it around my mother. My mother will kill somebody.
Yeah.
She'll be making a phone call to Godfathers, man. To be pulling in limos and shit.
I told my mom we live on Pollock Road. It's spelled Pollock. It's Pollock. That's how you're supposed to pronounce it.
Your
But I
mom's
used to
pregnant.
tell my mom they're going to change it to Dago Drive.
And what'd your mom say? She's probably pissed.
No, she thinks it's funny.
My mom. One time we were at it was at the Rose Inn when I was a kid, and somebody called my mom a Dago, and she was going off. I was like, holy heck, mom! My mom's
Really?
like tiny. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she gets all fired up. She's full-blooded Sicilian, man. It's funny. She holds grudges too.
So, guys, tomorrow night, be there.
We're gonna be talking. We're gonna be talking Steeler football, and we'll be talking. We got to face the Chargers, and I'm gonna bring back the something old every time we face the Chargers. It's that championship game we lost.
And I'm going to show you guys exactly how crappy, if you went and saw a game at the Chargers home field, what their stadium food looks like. Because guess what? Steelers, we're blessed. Just saying.
Oh, so you know what they have in?
I pulled up the menu today and I was looking like how much it is and what
Okay.
Is it
tomorrow.
Is it a hot dog like Tomlin was talking about? Did you hear that comment about Tomlin?
No, I didn't. Tell me what it was. What I don't hear.
I gotta look it up because I stuffed it up today.
Was it a hot dog that was like way extended?
No. Brooke
No, because
Pryor-
I'd seen somebody. It was like way extended. hot dog.
Well, I'll let you listen to it. Listen to this, and we'll say our goodbyes after. So,
All right, let's do it.
40 seconds of Mike Tomlin, because you know Brooke Pryor, ESPN, she was asking about the situation with the petty ball. Here it is.
Justin mentioned how rewarding it was to get the win in Denver for Russ. He said you gave out a penny game ball. Is that something that you've done often? Is it rewarding for you to get that win for him?
You know, none of your businesses, respectfully. There's certain things that go on among teams that I don't talk about. Whether it gets out or how it gets out is unimportant to me, and I'm not overly guarded against it. But it's just certain things as a leader that I talk to the collective about that I have zero intentions of sharing with the larger public, because it's about our collective and how we come together and how we appreciate and support one another. And, you know, I can't give you all the ingredients to the hot dog. You might not like it.
I think it's so good. It's so fucking
The
good.
collective. It's
Well,
like,
basically, I'm going to short it. Brooke, you bitch. I hate you. You're not getting the recipe of my hot dogs.
she's terrible.
It's a collective.
She's like that
She's-
guy. She's like that guy who gets on his knees for that money when he's like, and hey everybody, if you give us $5, that guy he goes for the Washington and Steeler guy. That guy's a douchebag.
Brooke is always trying to pretty much in the press conference. Mike Tomlin had already laid out what happened and what it's going to be with Russell Wilson being not available because of injury, and Fields is the guy right now. And then she talked about the petty ball, and Mike Tomlin was over it and pretty much said it's none of your business. And I think someone in my comments said a petty ball means they give a football. And I think it did leak because Justin Fields leaked it out the other day and said we gave Russell Wilson a petty ball, which means we gave him a football because we beat the team for you and you weren't playing or something like that. I don't know, or because it was your ex-teammate or ex-team. And then Coach Tomlin said, well, respectfully, I don't want to tell you what it is. You know? I don't care. I'm not telling you what it means.
He's
And then
been
also
lippy lately, like real sarcastic.
yeah, he's very, very over the media. I think he's maybe because he's been there 18 years and he's just getting the same questions. The media's trying to fish for he told the media about the quarterback situation. He said it's Russell Wilson is number one and until he's not, and then we're going to move with Justin Fields. That's all you need to know. But we are getting out of here. So thanks, Pato, for coming near the end. Thank you, Afton, coming near the end as well.
Hey,
Watch
guys,
the
rewind.
replay. Watch the replay, people.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Rewind
It's good fun.
20 minutes. Like, break it up into chunks because, guys,
you
the
can
last
watch
20
it.
minutes
You can
was
watch
fire.
it to work. Watch
Yeah.
it while you drive to work. I watch
100%.
Marks all the time. Yeah.
On both Steel Nation Oz and Steelers Dines podcast. And yeah, Wes says, oh, you can tell Mike Tomlin can't stand her. He just can't stand Bra. And I just like the first bit. So we're going to play it again before we leave, and we're out now. Everyone's coming in now. Jeez. I do understand. I think there's the behind the steel curtain was doing their stuff as well at the same time, but it's all good. We'll try and figure it out. Thank you, Pepper. Thank everyone on the show. Thanks everyone
I
for hanging
think
out with me.
sometimes later, a lot of people come in later because everybody.
Yeah, I can probably do it maybe 10 next week, possibly because I got to work today in 1 hour's time. So I had to make it really, really early. We'll figure it
that's
out.
fine.
It's an awesome show. Thanks, fellas. Thank you, Bubba. Thank you, Shane.
thank
And we're
you.
going to play it one more time because the first part of the segment is funny. Just listen to what he says about respectfully, I don't care. Or he says something like that. I don't care what you think.
Fantastic.
All right, I'll see you later.
See ya.
Justin mentioned how rewarding it was to get the win in Denver for Russ. He said you gave out a penny game ball. Is that something that you've done often? Is it rewarding for you to get that win for him?
You know, none of your businesses, respectfully. There's certain things that go on among teams that I don't talk about. Whether it gets out or how it gets out is unimportant to me, and I'm not overly guarded against it. But it's just certain things as a leader that I talk to the collective about that I have zero intentions of sharing with the larger public, because it's about our collective and how we come together and how we appreciate and support one another. And, you know, I can't give you all the ingredients to the hot dog. You might not like it.